and that's record the session. Apologies for anyone who's cutting into the recording, which is about 2 minutes too late. But anyway, there we go. We've started it
Worst
now.
wingman ever. Didn't
I
even
know.
remind you.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote a
Blame
big
me.
board on my laptop as well this morning. Anyway, um, so yeah, let's not forget those people who we are trying to reach with our real life stories, talking about real food, real results, and real success. So let's tell you what we're going to be covering today. Now, the first thing we're going to be talking about, because I'm sure on screen there is a mixture of different confidence levels with regards to sharing member stories. So we are going to cover the basics briefly around finding the right member, first of all, to share. We're then going to look at writing the story, um, getting it published, and what we can do to follow up afterwards too. Now, it's really worth saying before we start to look at this that we know that not everywhere has the benefit of a local newspaper or an obvious sort of publication that covers their local town or area. However, we all have the benefit of online newspapers that we can take advantage of. And of course, not forgetting that we also have social media channels where we can make our published stories work even harder or even pick up stories that we haven't had success in publishing. So before I leap in and using the reactions, the emojis down the bottom there, who hands up who has secured a published editorial before? Okay. I can't see any hands up. Are we getting lots, Hannah? Can you see?
I've got three, four. They're all flying up across the screen. So
I'm
we've got
not
about
getting that.
50% by the looks.
Thank you. I'm not seeing those. So thank you so much. So there's a real sort of mixture, as we said. That's great. If you've secured a published editorial before, brilliant. But I'm guessing that everybody on screen would like to see a few more. And for those of you who never have, then we are literally going to dive straight in and look, first of all, at finding the right member. So, the best first tool that you've got in finding members for potential stories, and it will be no surprise to you that this is on here, but you're going to find them in your weight record sheets, looking at all members, including target members too, because they can sometimes slip our mind as they might not attend every single week. Asking yourself questions that you'll already be asking anyway, but who is losing weight well? Who's loving food optimizing? Who loves sharing their food in and out of group? Who's making great strides with their activity? I'll never forget a consultant who some of you might know, Shani. And as a fairly new consultant, I remember being in a district meeting and Shani shared one of those fab top tips that's always stayed with me. We were actually talking at the time about finding new consultant stars, and she shared that she would be simply writing the word ops in the NB box, regardless of whether the member was on their first week or their 100th week. If they shone for a reason, she would make a note and she would pop that word in the NB box. And it got me to thinking, why not the same for this? As a member's losing weight or you're spotting their inspiration in and out of group, they might not be ready yet for a full member editorial, but pop a note, might be story bag in the NB box. The truth is that every member is a potential great story in the making, a target member in the making. And as they progress in their journey, they achieve awards, and contribute in image therapy. You discover more about them along the way too. And that brings me to the very next point on here, topical stories in the media. So you might be thinking, well, what would that be? So do you have members with diabetes, members who've become really active while they're losing weight, perhaps? They might be using the car less and have no need for as much expensive petrol. That's very topical at the moment too. They might love cooking. They might love cooking on a budget. Or perhaps you've got members who are also using weight loss medication alongside food optimizing. All of these have been topical and nationally covered news that you can bring your local angle to. What do you know about your members, and is it noted in the member records? So a great tool that you may not have used before is the Fast Facts for Quick Connections, available in our PR toolkit on Our World, and I'll show you where to find that in just a second. So that brings us neatly on to the next point on here, and that is press releases. So we've got the fabulous help of the PR team at head office who bring out template press releases and pop them onto Our World for us to simply lift and use to write our own stories. They're really simple to use and they're written in a flash. These are always very topical, and if your confidence is particularly low with writing, or you have very little time, which, let's be honest, that's probably most of us on screen, these are fabulous. And I'll show you these tools, the press releases, faster facts, put my teeth in just a moment. So a final top tip from me, as a brand new consultant, I did secure my first editorial myself. And I distinctly remember sitting in my car in Tesco's and I felt like I was phoning the Prime Minister. I was that nervous. I asked if he would print my story and he agreed. Simple as that. It was a really brilliant early lesson that journalists are human beings, and happy to hear from you. Getting to know the names of who those local journalists are who write stories really does pay off. A few months later, I met another journalist for a coffee in a local coffee shop, and I took my story bag of members along with a brief one-page document with just their story in bullet form and their before and after photos. I'd got a bit of a mission at the time to achieve a story every week. And fast forward a few years and things have changed a bit with personnel, but the biggest tip that I could give you is to create your story bag and be ready for any potential story. So how did I do that? Well, really simple. I had like many of you, I had a toolbox in group, a toolkit box, and in there, alongside all the things like food diaries and SAS logs, I had a printed A4 document with some key questions on. Every single time that I gave out a target award, each person got one of these alongside the permission slip to agree to share their story. If I was doing this now, this makes me sound really old. It was only about 12 years ago, but if I was doing this now and linked in with Joe and Kirsty's session last week, I would probably create a quick reply message on WhatsApp for a really quick and easy to copy note in my phone with the same questions and requests for photos. And I would pop this to every member achieving target and also members who were achieving big weight loss or activity awards or milestones, hence the final bullet point on my slide. So I'm just going to come off share for a moment and I'm going to show you where some of these tools are. So, oops. Just bear with me while I get the right page. Okay, so let's just pop on to Our World. So hopefully you can all see my Our World page, which is just reloading. So the first thing I'm going to show you is our PR toolkit. So I'm going to the promote tab on Our World. So just a quick reminder of what's in here, and straight away you can see the PR toolkit. Now, there's lots and lots of things in here, but just to point out some of the bits that I've been talking about. So what's hot news right now? So thinking about topical news features. In here and in the other tabs here, you'll find that's where you'll find your press releases, guys. Okay. And also, what you might spot down there is this is where you'll find the fast facts downloads there too. So let's come off of this for a moment and just go back to our slides, because what I just want to share with you is a bit of a note around approaching a member. Okay, so you might have had mixed success with approaching members in the past. You might have had members say no, that they weren't comfortable to share. But I just wanted to take a moment to just share a few words really that I might use if I was hoping to gain agreement for a member's weight loss story to be shared. I'm just going to let you read that yourself for a moment. So if you're wondering what to say, as I said, or you don't always get agreement, you might find this helpful. There are a few key points to remember. You're not promising a full editorial feature in the newspaper or even in the Slim and Wild magazine. You can reassure them that you will check through the details with them before it going anywhere too. And ultimately, it's the biggest compliment for them. It will make them feel 10 feet tall, even if the story isn't picked up and published. So I also want to share how to make it really super easy for your members to share their information with you. And there's lots of different ways that we could do this. I know, having supported lots of consultants, very often members can be quite slow to come back to us with the information that we need. And our timescales are a little bit more urgent than perhaps theirs are. So making it really easy for our members to give us the information that you might need in order to use things like the press releases or to write your own story is going to be really key. So to that point, I've just copied from my WhatsApp a little message that I put together. And this might be the sort of thing that you could use to quickly gather the information that you need from your members, ultimately making it really super easy for them to give you what you need as quickly as possible. And I'm going to show you a bit later on how I used this to get some details from a member that we're going to write a story for today. So if you've all had a chance to have a little read of that, I'm going to move on now and just share another top tip. So they're coming thick and fast today. And that is with this particular hashtag, which I know there are a few of the consultants in my district who use this as they are approaching a promotion. It's a really, really quick and easy way to gather lots of fabulous potential member before and after photos and stories that could be used for your next editorial, but could also be used for your social media campaign as well. And this would be something you could use in your closed Facebook group. So obviously this relates to a Friday. There are other hashtags that I'm sure that you will be aware of, but Face-to-Face Friday is a really, really good one. It's amazing how members do love to share their success stories in this way. And of course, if we were to post this on a Friday, perhaps Friday this week, we could then gather more information or permissions where needed and pick any that you'd like to take forward. And as I said, they often make great progress posts for social media and potentially flag up members for your story bag. Okay, so let's move on then to writing our member stories. Now, I know for many people that writing a story can feel really scary, not being sure where to start or what to ask for and what information you may need to gather. Well, we've started to cover that already. Firstly, I referred to our press templates and where to find them. I'm not going to cover those any further today. It's simply a case of finding one that fits, dropping the information you have into the red text, not forgetting to delete that out, and then editing if it needs anything further. But what I am going to show you is quite simply an incredible tool that we have at our disposal. And I know many of you are using these tools in other ways. And that's with AI, with apps such as Copilot or ChatGPT. And I'm going to do this live, so wish me luck. So the next member I'm going to introduce to you, she's not here live, but she is here with some fabulous before and after photos. Now, this member joined in September 2025, and she reached her target in February, having lost just under 3 stone to do it. So here are her before and after photos that she's very bravely sharing with you today. And I'm particularly proud of her because she is my 19-year-old daughter. So here she is. This is Elijah. Now, what I'm going to do is just come off our slides for a moment, and I'm going to share a screen. Before I do, who's really used to using AI in parts of running their group or their promotions? Give me a quick wave if you're doing that. Yeah, a few of you. Excellent. So just gauging how many. A few of you might not be there. Now I'm really going to blow your mind then today. Okay, so let's share. Here we go. Right, now before I go into this, what I've done is I've asked Elijah to share all that information that you saw in the WhatsApp message with me. Obviously, I knew a little bit of it, but these are all her own words. And I've copied it in just for speed. I've copied it in ahead so that we can be ready. Now, what you can see is she's given a bit more background information and all the kind of information we might need. I did actually go back to her and asked her a little bit about her food choices as well, just to add into this. But you can see that that's what we've got. And I genuinely don't know what this is going to give us. So let's see what happens. Now, you'll notice at the top, I've written, please, I always say please to AI. I don't know, it's just good manners, isn't it? Please, can you write me an editorial for a member's weight loss journey using all the information below? All right, wish me luck. Let's see what it gives. Okay, if this doesn't work now, Hannah, we're going to be embarrassed, aren't we?
There's nothing like a bit of pressure, is there?
I just want to do it live. Okay, right. So here it is. That's how quick it's given us. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be the perfect finished article, but we have got the beginnings. So it's given us a headline. I will let you just have a little read of this for a moment, and I'll scroll as slowly as I can. She really does like Greg's caramel crispy bars in bulk buy.
It's relatable, isn't it? I love that.
Yeah. So here we go. I hope I'm not going too fast, but I wanted you just to have a chance to see what it's given us. Okay, so as you probably are nearing the end of reading this story, you'll see that it's offering me some other choices here. So if you'd like, I can also format this as a newsletter spread, social media post, or printed success story layout for group use. So it might be that I want to do that as well. And the other thing, of course, that we might want is a better headline. So we might want to go back and rejig a little bit around the headline. But you can start to shape this. Now, if I was pretty happy with what I had, then just down here, there is a copy button here, or you can simply highlight and copy and paste. And I would take that into a Word document now and just have a little play with it. So I'm just going to come off share for a moment. Now, the really, really important thing when we are using AI is human first, human last. So it's vital to read it through and to recheck it, taking out any obvious signs that it's written by AI as well, and checking every detail. It's always vital to exercise our policy of human first, human last as well. So it's only ever going to give you as good a response as the information you put in, so human first, and human last. Make sure that any assumptions, or sometimes it does get things wrong, that you can pick those out and make sure that it's factually accurate, and everything makes sense. And of course, that it represents the story really accurately as well. So who feels like that, if you haven't used that before, who feels like that's a way that they could increase their confidence? Give us a wave. Good. There we go. Super. Thank you. So let's all the thumbs up are
Thumbs up
coming.
for going. Love it.
Excellent. Good stuff. So let's get back to our slides then. Okay, so what next? Now, what comes next is ultimately getting our story published. So there are three possible routes to getting our stories published. My absolute favourite, and something that I don't think will ever replace anything else, is really getting to know, if we have them, your local newspaper. Getting to know the journalists who write frequently for that local paper. Now, a quick way to find those names and to find out who they are is to do just a little bit of detective work, really. It might be actually physically picking up the print copy of the newspaper down the local shop, who's been writing in there any sort of health, well-being or community-related stories. Look for weight loss stories online. A quick Google will help you to do that. Who wrote those for the local area? And the great thing about the newspaper websites is that you'll be able to access all the journalist contact details, and they're really, really easily available. The other thing that we'll need to do with the local newspaper is writing a pitch email, and I'm going to show you an example of that in just a second. Many members also have the ability to submit your stories online. So I'm going to show you that shortly. And you can simply upload your story and photos in that way. So I'll show you how to do that too. And then the third and final way is through a community focused news initiative, which is online, called Your World. And I'll show you this. It will blow your mind if you've never used this before as well. So let's look at the pitch email. And there are a few really important things that you can do when you are pitching your story to a local journalist. So keeping with the theme of the story that we have just written, what I've copied for you here is, and I actually did use Copilot to write this pitch. So it's a really, really short and sort of covers the key information from the story that you can see here. So just in case you can't read this and it's too small, but it says, I hope you're well. I'm getting in touch with a potential human interest story that I think would really resonate with your readers. A 19-year-old UEA student from Beccles has transformed her health and lifestyle in just 5 months, losing an impressive 3 stone by following the Slimming World food optimizing plan. Alongside her weight loss journey, she has also discovered a real passion for running, which has led her to train for and take on her biggest challenge yet, the Brighton Marathon. What makes her story especially inspiring is not only the significant weight loss achieved in such a short time, but also the determination, routine changes, and positive mindset that have fueled her progress. She hopes that by sharing her journey, she can inspire other young people in the community to take steps towards improving their well-being. And then the final line there. Now, you'll notice a couple of key things here. Number one is the pictures have been copied into the body of the email, not attached. So this is a really good top share from our PR team. Journalists and editors are very busy and they'll have very many emails every day. So making it even easier for them to see all the impressive details and the pictures they need just from one click to open the email, and the subject email as well, sharing the key kind of headline really of the story and where it's based as well, is really, really key. Just makes it easier for them to pick up. So copying and pasting, just a couple, these are my favourite photos that I chose, but just a couple of these into the body of the email. And it's a bit of a call to action for them to come back to you for the full story. So that's the pitch email. And obviously you would need somebody to email that straight to. Now, what I'm going to do now is just share with you on the next couple of points. So let's just get my screen open. Okay, so we're on Our World at the moment, but I want to be on... Oh, bear with me, guys. I can't access the page I need. Hang on. I'll just set this up in the background so that I'm on the right page. There we go. Okay. So what I'm just sharing now is my my local area, so the Eastern Daily Press. So what you will see here is just the homepage. So just literally follow this to the homepage. Now I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. It's quite a lot on here. Bear with. Okay. No, I'm not. It's not coming up. Hang on. Can't actually see on screen what I'm looking for, and it was all here earlier. Hang on, I'll find another way. Okay. Hannah, do you know how I can find, because it's all on there when I look on my screen, but when I'm on here, it's not showing the very bottom bit of the page. Any
Okay.
ideas?
I would probably click on it off the screen to go back on. Is it the contact bit you're looking for?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I checked it was all on there, but
You could
hang
put
on.
it into the search bar
Yeah,
and just put contact. That should come up.
Okay, so hang on, let's go to, shall I just let's just see if I can Google it and do it that way. Is that what you
I
mean?
think it's just great though, because this is what happens, doesn't it? When any of us who are on the screen right now, when you're going to do something, and isn't it frustrating sometimes? We're like, where is it? Why is it gone? And that can be a stopper sometimes. So it's just bear with and perseverance.
She's feeling well. Thank you, Hannah.
You
Here
are
we go.
welcome.
Right, I actually don't know if this is brought up what I need. Oh, here we go. I've just seen it. Right, okay. So here we are. Got there in the end. It's a little bit sweaty and Beckles. Okay, so send us your news is what I was looking for. So it's usually under the get in touch. So once I click on that, hopefully you should see the send us your news page. Now, as it says here, now this is a news quest paper, and obviously you're all in different areas, so you might want to just pull up on a separate page now your website for your local newspaper and just have a look where it might be found. You can see that I had a little bit of a search there going on just so that you'd be able to see it. But where I'd be going to here is share your stories. Now, hopefully what you can see is it's brought up the page now where we can start to submit the details of the local story. So in here, I would just simply copy and paste. I'm not going to type it all in, but you can see where I'm going with this. I'm going to, I'd put my little information from my pitch in the description there. Here we can upload those photos, and then literally it would be a case of popping your details in here. So your contact details, and you can tick this little box in the accept the contributed terms. And obviously, if you don't want them to credit you, then you tick that box, but otherwise leave that one blank. So here, sorry, just going back to the description, that's where I'd be copying and pasting my full story that I've already popped onto my Word document. And then literally that is as simple as that. And what you'll see at the bottom is the send button to submit your story. So how easy is that? Now, I know from Claire Evans that she used to work for a newspaper, and as the newspapers entered the digital world, the rate at which they have to produce new stories is like incredible just to keep their digital subscribers really interested. So they really do want to receive good quality stories, good quality pictures that they can use to upload online. So that's route number 2. And then I'm hoping that I don't have the same issue with the next wave. We'll keep your fingers crossed, everybody. Right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share your world. Now, before I do that, has anybody used this method of getting a story published? Any hands up, waves? Oh,
Can't
Linda,
see
you
any.
have.
Oh, we've got one. Rainy.
Rainy. Oh, yes, Rainy, I remember
Him.
you. You're lovely, thank you.
We've got two out of
So,
44.
okay, so this will be quite new to most of you then. And it's something that I've
Oh,
never
Linda
heard
as
of
well.
before either. Linda, say yes, I got one in a London publication, even though I'm in Kent. Okay, super. So I may well call on you guys just to give your little bit of feedback. So Val, you've downloaded it and signed up for an account, but you just haven't used it yet. Mary, my colleague has done it for me. Lucky me. Fabulous.
Oh,
Okay. We all want colleagues like that, don't we? Okay, let's have a little look then. So this might blow your mind a little bit if you've never used it before. Now, Your World is well, you can Google what Your World is, but it's simply a community-based news initiative. And I think the easiest way to sort of talk through it is just to show you it in action. Now, as someone just shared there, they've kind of signed up for an account, but they haven't done anything with it yet. So the very first thing that you need to do is to set yourself up an account. It's really quick, it's free, and you can quite simply, so the instructions you need are literally, I just Googled Your World Create Account, and that brought me to, you'll see that the icon that you're looking for here, and that brought me to just set up my account. Now what you can see is my computer's recognized that it's me signing in, so I'm straight into my account. Now what you can see here is the submission page. So here it's saying write your first story. It doesn't look like you have any stories yet. So I'm going to click through and show you where we would go next. So I'm using the submit a story. Okay. So here it is, and it's very similar to what I just went through with the local newspaper share your news section. So we've got space in here to write the headlines. So I'm not going to put the full thing in, but you get the impression there. You've got your first paragraph. So I would copy and paste, and that first paragraph's always the really big, impactful one, isn't it? And that summarizes the whole story in brief. We've then got a section to upload your images. So again, you would just simply click on this and it's going to open up your pictures here so that you can submit the pictures alongside. So I've got loads in there, but I would just choose the relevant images. Now, there is a little tip here. It tells you about the size, the relevant size that you need to submit, because I know from talking to others that they've submitted pictures and then perhaps had like part of the head cut off and things like that. So just make sure that you've got the right size image there. And then here is the body where you're going to be copying and pasting the full story into this section here. So let's have a look at these bits now. Now, you're all in different areas. So let's have a look what we have. So I've clicked on the choose a publication, and you can see that Your World covers a huge amount of different areas. So I'll just scroll through, some of which won't be in our region, some of which are. So if you spot one for you, that's great. Now, for anybody who is here from my district, from Norfolk and Suffolk, then I have looked very hard. There isn't anything in Norfolk and Suffolk, but what we do have is National World. So I'm going to click on that. Okay. So there we go. Let's just, how do I click off this now? Oh. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to move my icons over. I don't know if it's down the bottom and I can't get to it. Here we go. Right. And then the category. So I think the consensus is that news would be the category that I'd pop in there. So once all that is done, and obviously I'm not going to physically submit this today, but once all that is done, you will see there is a next button on here. Now, I don't think it will let me, so it's not going to let me go further unless I just put some text in. I'm not sure whether it will, let's pop something in here as well. Okay, so obviously I went to submit it like this. Okay, so we're going to go through, and it's adding, offering you the chance to add any further images to your story. And then clicking through, I wouldn't be uploading a video. So obviously I'm not going to physically submit this now, but what you can see is there's a box to agree to the terms and conditions, which you can read there too, and then submit the story. So that is quite simply it. So I'm just going to come off of share now, because there was a few of you who have submitted a story in this way before. So I'm trying to remember who it was. Kim, I think,
Uh,
Rainey, you've
yeah,
submitted a
Rainy.
story, haven't you? Rainey, tell us just briefly, like, how quickly did your story get picked up?
About 2 hours.
Wow, that is super quick. So 2 hours, fantastic. And how was it simply that easy, Rainey? Was it something you knew about before?
No, it was I popped on a bite size with Lynn Sheridan, watched that, followed literally her through the steps. I took a template from Our World, popped it into Chat GPT, and then tweaked it to the way I would talk.
Yeah.
Made sure everything was correct, uploaded it, but I knew that I was going to do this. So my member was approaching her 9 Stone Award, looked pretty good that she was going to do it. So she allowed me to video her actually achieving it on the scales. So I just uploaded like a 10-20 second video as well, and that got
Oh,
published. I then,
amazing.
when that was published, I sent it through to like Woman's Magazine, and now they're interested in publishing it as well.
Fantastic. That's amazing. I love the fact that you submitted a video with it as well. And like if you can capture those moments, that's brilliant, Rainey. Thank you. Who else has used your world as well? There's a couple of
Mine
you.
was, they didn't have anything, any publications for Kent. So that's why I thought, well, I'm on the edge of London. So
Yeah.
that's why I chose the London one. And literally 5 minutes, it was online.
Wow, even quicker. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Super. Thanks for sharing that, Linda. So it's dead easy. And obviously we've taken you through a bit of a journey of finding the member, writing the story, as Rainey beautifully said there, about checking through if you're using AI and things like that. But how quick is that? Who feels like that's something that they would feel a little bit more confident to give a go? Give us a wave if that's going to be something you're going to have a little go at. Fabulous. Lovely, got all the thumbs up coming. Okay, so Brill, let's get back into our slides then. Okay.
Very, very good question there from Kim. Rainy or Linda, how did you know your story was published?
They email you.
Ah, there you go.
And
They
actually,
email
another
you.
consultant told me as well. She went, I've just seen this. And then they emailed me.
Fantastic.
Great
Yeah,
network.
brilliant. Brilliant. I think thanks for the question actually. So it reminded me, you get an email to say that your story's been submitted, and then you get that email once it's been picked up and published. So it's a really good question. Super. Thanks, Hannah.
Welcome.
Okay, so what can you do to follow up afterwards? Well, now the story's been published, you can be part of spreading that story far and wide and making it work even harder for you. The first absolute important thing to do is to take the editorial. So if it's been printed in a newspaper, pick up a copy of the newspaper and take that editorial into group, because what you're going to want to know is, especially for your new members, who has seen the editorial, who's read it. Great way to obviously monitor the success of that. The second thing I'd be doing is asking members in group and on the closed Facebook group to visit that story online and to share it on their social media too. The more likes, the more shares, the more interaction for the newspaper on a story, the more likely they are going to be to print another story that you send in as well. On the same note, ask your colleagues to share, to like and share the story too on their business pages. We all love a local success story, don't we? And I know in my district, we routinely do share any editorials that have been achieved on the district Facebook page. In doing that, it gives every consultant the opportunity to then share those local stories on their business pages too. And again, all increasing the clicks, the likes, the comments on that story if it's been published online. And then finally, the testimonial, probably a really underused prong, I think, but it's an additional prong to make use of, and basically is a thank you to the paper for the impact that they've had on perhaps the number of new members that have joined a group because of the inspiration of reading the story in their publication. And with that in mind, there is, and I'm just going to show you this very briefly, there is a great tool that you can use, which is, I'm just going to get this up for you. Just bear with, I'm just getting the page ready. So, let's go back to share. Okay, so if I just pop this up here. Now, there's a great tool for you to use, which is Secrets of Advanced Success. And what you can see here is I've just gone to Our World under Learn and Grow, and you've got access to all of your Secrets of manuals here, but your Secrets of Advanced Success, because this is absolutely full of help with things like this, making your editorials work even harder for you. Okay. So back to my slides. So here we are. We're right near to the end now. I forgot that I put this picture of Our World in. So in a moment, what I'd love to hear just in the last few minutes is what things are you going to be taking away to have a little try of? What have you picked up? And what are you going to go away and action? But just before I do that, I just wanted to show you and take you back to the slides that you might recognise from Claire's presentation. A reminder of the first session of the Wheel of Fortune with Claire. Our results show us where we are today, not where we are going. There are very few companies where you can write your own paycheck, and this is your chance to write yours for the remainder of 2026. A little reminder here for those of you who have attended all the sessions so far, you're in the draw for a chance to win the £250 prize, which is not to be sniffed at. With that in mind, if you haven't popped your consultant code and your name in the chat, please do it now so that we know that you were here as well. And then really, I'm just going to come back and I'm going to take us off share, because over to you. I would love to just gather a few kind of top things that you've picked up, what you've loved and what you are taking away from the session today. You can actually speak to me, by the way. Oh. Hannah, what did we have in the chat that I missed, darling?
No, we've just got a few things, a few more codes being entered. Oh, hang on, we got Nicole. Having consent forms copied and ready to give to target members. And any members who get awards. I'm going to create my own editorial pack ready. When I need something quick. Thanks for those tips. I love it. Lisa Wilson, use AI more and not be scared of editorials. Oh, you're not alone, my lovely. It can be one of those like, it's that whole no thing, isn't it? Donna,
Yeah.
using AI. Mary, you've got just sending those questions to a few members. Thanks. It is. It's just really quick and easy. We've got Alison. Have a bit more confidence and give it a go. Give it a go again.
Yeah,
I like that.
absolutely.
Yeah. Wendy, having a story bag that evolves. I love that. Will make it easier to pick up when time for a story is needed. 100%. And Kim, I absolutely loved you showing us. Does help. I'm a very visual learner.
Even if I did sweat a bit when I couldn't find the right bit.
Yeah, but that's what we would go through as well. So yeah, no, it's fine. Help to retain what to do. 100%, Kim. Thank you. Raina, oh, the wording to approach a member. Loved your text. Is never sure how to ask, and I'm pretty certain you won't be alone there. Tanya, have the questions ready on WhatsApp has suggested. Yeah, as suggested. Sorry, I won't get my words out. So have the questions ready for WhatsApp. Oh no, that's Hannah's code. Using quick replies, 100%. Try Chat GP and Copilots. I don't know about you, but it's brilliant for the titles because I never know what to do as a headline. Which something catchy. It's absolutely fantastic. What we got? Sarah put story bag on weight record sheets notes, and then I won't panic to think of people at promotion times. I love that. I always think about those people who are telling you they're getting married. Or or those trying for a baby, little things like that, just to remember. Heather, feeling so much more confident, easy to follow, thank you so much. Ruth, using your world will definitely give me a good chance of getting an editorial for the first time. Good luck, Ruth.
Good luck.
You got this. You got
that's
this.
amazing. Thank you. What a whole mix of things. Hopefully there's been something for everyone. So a big thank you for coming along. Now I'm going to finish, which is probably a first for me. I'm on time. In fact, I'm literally 2 minutes early. So happy days. But what I would love just to say before you all dash off is, if you've loved the session today, please do share with your colleagues on your district Facebook. Just let them know to come along, because editorials are something that a lot of people do struggle to get. So please do share with them. And if you haven't loved it, just say you were at a Weight Watchers meeting. That's what Claire always says, isn't it, Hannah? There you go. Anyway. It's been lovely to meet you and see a few familiar faces as well. Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye. Oh, look at all the love hearts. A love heart. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I think we've actually got everyone's code and name as well.
Excellent.
Bye, Karen.